Ei, ei, psiu. Ei, você? Isso, você mesmo. Ah, oi? Eu sou o Cone na vida real, e registrar tudo o que está acontecendo é algo que a humanidade faz desde seus primórdios, indo da pré-história, onde os homens das cavernas desenhavam os animais que viam nas paredes, ou hoje em dia, na atualidade, onde registramos tudo com fotos e áudios. Registrar faz parte de nós, guardar o presente para o futuro em uma foto ou em um vídeo. E eu posso te fazer uma pergunta? Se você soubesse que tudo que você está presenciando hoje fosse ser esquecido por todos, você faria questão de registrar tudo? Registrar desde sons a fotos e vídeos? Tentar ao máximo marcar esse espaço no tempo que vai se esvair com o vento? E hoje, eu trago um jogo que retrata muito bem esse cenário. Nossa história se inicia com uma pergunta. Quem é você?
I don't know, but I'm writing to you anyway. Where are you? How far in the future? Where'd you find my journal? I may never know, but you can know me from what I put down on these pages. I come from a little village in the mountains. No one has left here since before I was born. But our lives changed overnight, just a few days ago when my best friend had a prophetic dream. A vision that the elder said means this season is going to end soon. The world is about to enter a new era. A great change is coming. Everyone was afraid. I was surrounded by questions and I began to feel how little I know. What is this season that is about to end, and why is it ending? What exactly is out there that could turn the world inside out? If there are still voices singing and laughing in the wilderness, I could record them before they're gone. I also thought of my dad, who always wanted to see the outside world but never did. So, I asked if I could leave. The elder had one condition for letting me go: that I take what I collect to the museum vault, a palace of art and memory at the edge of the earth. She says it's the only place safe from the turmoil of a changing season. I hope that's where you're reading this now. I can't stop the change that is coming, but this time on Earth could live on in these pages. What it looks like, sounds like, how it feels to be alive right now. I'm writing to you at the crack of dawn, on the morning I leave home. I can smell breakfast cooking in the other room, and I can hear my mom's voice.
Agora, tendo o controle da nossa personagem, aparece o livro de anotações que veremos por todo o jogo. Pelo quarto, podemos andar de um lado ao outro e interagir com vários objetos. Ao sair do quarto, chegamos na cozinha, onde vemos a mãe da protagonista cozinhando, e podemos aproveitar o momento, observando a cena, até que a madeira range e chama a atenção da mulher. A mãe da protagonista parece estar fazendo algo, um pingente, mas antes de questionar o que ele faz, ela diz que é para evitar as doenças da mente, sendo uma proteção contra, por exemplo, a doença do sono. Mas para fazer o pingente, é preciso de objetos e memórias relacionadas a cada sentido. Mas alguém deve esquecer essas memórias, e essa pessoa será nossa mãe, sendo que ela mesma escolheu isso, sendo a primeira a audição, sendo uma memória em família.
I remember. You and I fell asleep listening to this tape. So your dad came home. We all rested together until it got dark. got an odd feeling. Like an absence disappearing. The empty space fills itself back in until I forget that I forgot anything at all. I'm glad I'm only losing a few memories. If I lost too many, I wouldn't even know who you are. You should pick the rest of the objects. I'll lose the memories, but you'll have them independent forever. So they should be important to you. They should be parts of your identity you want to be sure to protect. So think about what these items and what the memories would preserve about you. Let's do smell next. Find an object with a strong odor and that holds a piece of you.
Agora podemos escolher algo relacionado ao olfato, e eu escolhi as balinhas com aroma doce. Agora ao tato, eu escolhi um desenho feito para nosso falecido pai. E por última escolha, pegamos um besouro brilhante e agradável aos olhos, sendo a visão.
For taste, we can eat breakfast and feed some to the burner. The memory I'll lose is the one we're forming right now. I want you to have it forever. Standing here, you're having a last taste of home. Now you're protected by lost memories. A gem of home around your neck. This is my only condition for letting you go. You must promise me never to take the pendant off. And never tamper with it. Okay? Then I'm okay with you leaving. I think your camera and bag are still in your room. It's time to gather them up.
Chegou nossa hora de partir. Pegamos nossa câmera e bolsa e tivemos uma última conversa com nossa mãe. Agora estamos livres para seguir. E a mecânica que mais gostei do jogo é onde você pode personalizar seu caderno como bem entender, podendo colocar um pouco da sua personalidade em cada página. E quando a barra está cheia, a protagonista fala algo sobre a página. Mas não liguei muito para as minhas páginas, eu não sou o melhor do design. O jogo também nos ensina a gravar sons, podendo guardá-los nas páginas do caderno junto com as fotos que tiramos, abrindo mais ainda a possibilidade de personalização de cada página. Descendo as escadas, chegamos em uma festa que aconteceu na última noite, sendo a nossa despedida. Nessa pequena praça podemos fotografar o Dr. Fumo, o criador do pingente que fizemos, e da cura de várias doenças misteriosas. E com isso descobrimos páginas do diário que podem ser preenchidas com coisas específicas. Tirando foto de 3 murais, completamos a página do diário.
Dr. Fumio was an important person, but we also just have a need to put a human face on events that are beyond our control. He may have felt just as scared and helpless as everyone else.
E esse revela ser o círculo de gameplay do jogo. Gravamos, tiramos fotos e andamos pelo mapa do jogo. Depois de algumas fotos, nosso personagem se recorda de algo que seu pai havia falado, que por sorte, tinha gravado em uma fita.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay. How to leave home for my daughter. Find a sacred square of earth. Lay down so you have the dirt at your back. Close your eyes. Close everything. Do you see for yourself? You see for the dead, for the unborn. Do you listen for yourself? You listen for the dead, for the unborn. Your ancestors are in that dirt. All the living and all the dead are holding you up. Now, stand. They're still there, aren't they? It's time to move, to entangle yourself everywhere with everyone. So the next time you lay down in the dirt, you will have so much more to tell them.
Agora, saindo para longe do vilarejo, logo após tirar uma linda foto de sua construção, podemos pegar o nosso método de deslocamento por todo o jogo, sendo uma bicicleta, onde foram feitas 3 para nós. E caso você não tenha escolhido a roda, desculpa, mas você não é homem o suficiente. E agora, descendo uma ladeira com nossa bicicleta, somos agraciados com essa linda paisagem junto do título do jogo. Mais à frente podemos ver alguns cartões postais onde pega o da nossa vila, onde podemos guardar nosso caderno, além de poder gravar um canto de um belo pássaro para registrar no caderno. Descendo a ladeira e tirando mais fotos, podemos terminar uma página.
I feel nourished in these sights by the unfamiliarity of it all. These means of connection, long in disuse, are certainly telling me something about the world. Will they be used again in the next season?
Passamos pelas construções de metais antigas, onde o vento faz ela ranger como se estivesse próximo de cair. Depois de fazer um carinho pela primeira vez em um animal, podemos seguir nossa jornada, indo longe, deixando tudo para trás. Agora, a chuva traz consigo o clima mais fúnebre, ou talvez seja só a sensação de sair de casa pela primeira vez. Agora estamos livres, podemos ler coisas escritas na parede, podendo tirar foto de uns familiares meus e ver rastros de pessoas que passaram por ali, deixando mensagens nas paredes. Mas por fim, agora sentada na grama, podemos ouvir uma gravação feita há pouco tempo, onde a anciã conta sobre sua vida.
For the listener, whoever that might be. This is the elder speaking. We're sitting in the plaza, saying goodbye to a dear soul. We're here to see if there's anything useful in my mind that could help you on your trip. A century's worth of memories, dreams, fantasies, visions. Like a big, old, haunted library. When I die, this library will burn down. But which book should we check out first? I don't have all the answers, but I do feel the story of my life could help you understand what kind of world is out there. It's okay not to understand everything right away. The moment may pass before you've gotten a firm hold on it. But as long as you're there to witness it, to take it down in your journal, you and others to come will someday take the time to make sense of it all. First, I got old. That's an important step. Being an elder is all about how you react to strange events. The key is not to be surprised, but kind of frown, look serious, and say something like, "It begins." Never say, "I don't know." Say, "We dive into a pool of uncertainty." I was born on the ocean. My mother and father worked on a cruise ship. The short-lived but glorious watery republics. Floating cities. Most won their independence by the time I was born. How can I describe them? They were a jewel of the golden season. Pleasure boats with a radical political program. How nice. The golden age was a time of flags, logos, mottos, mastheads. My mom taught me to read them. She was a ship's philosopher. My dad was a recycling engineer. Recycling on the ship was a matter of life and death. We had to get the most out of every object and watt of energy. My grandparents played with the past. They changed it like we change our wardrobe. So it was a different answer every time, but they often said we were exiles of some kind. Exiled royalty from a secret lineage, blood that glows in the dark. Or we're exiled from the mouth of some great leviathan. When they were older, they just said, we're from here. We're from right now. I loved the way the ship would tilt and roll with the waves, especially as I fell asleep. It was so comfortable. Picture me as a kid in bed, feeling the swaying of the ship. It was like being rocked to sleep as a baby. I loved exploring the ship too. Wandering through the suites, the swimming pool, the game rooms, and oh, there were 2 dance halls. A large, elegant one and another one in the basement. A lot of my firsts were down there. My first dance, my first kiss, and so forth. Our ship was taken over in the early days of the war. That was the end of the watery republics. I heard the dance hall in the basement became a weapons cache. Took me half my life to say goodbye to the world I knew in my youth. Imagine me and my parents and everyone I knew being escorted off the ship by a company of soldiers. And I'm thinking, I hope they don't make a mess of my room. I was embarrassed by the younger kids who were crying their eyes out. But they knew, I guess. Yes, the start of the war was a turning of seasons. And we had been warned the season was going to end. Oh, but we didn't understand the warning. You see, one night, along a coastline, we saw beautiful lights shimmering above the water. Later, we found out this was an ancient warning system. It hadn't been used in so long, we didn't know what it meant. We just thought, well, ain't that pretty? We tried to stick together and camped out on the coast of the prismatic grounds. Kingdom of art and science. They got rich during the golden season. Everything that made them beloved before the wealth came. Passionate, uncompromising, self-obsessed. Made them unbearable once they had power. Artists make terrible kings. Are you sure you want me to keep going? The story gets darker from here on. That was plenty. I want you to have a safe and beautiful trip. Never feel alone. We'll all be here thinking of you.
Agora seguimos por uma grande rua, passando por uma barragem já tomada pelo tempo. Logo, chegamos em uma grande construção com um carro parado na frente, e nos deparamos com um homem baixinho que pede para esperarmos. A placa diz que estamos na porta do Vale Cheng, lar dos 3 deuses conscientes, e pede para conectarmos e imaginarmos as milhares de peregrinos que passaram por ali. Eles nasceram, viveram e morreram. Agora o homem baixinho volta, perguntando sobre o nosso gravador, e diz que ama equipamentos antigos, e diz que estão cada vez mais raros. Perguntando sobre o que estamos fazendo, dizemos que estamos aqui para observar e registrar o mundo. Ele pergunta o que estamos registrando, e dizemos que tudo o que chamará a atenção. Ele diz que o vale seria um bom local para registrar, mas infelizmente ele está fechado. Agora, pedindo mais um tempo, podemos explorar a entrada do local, onde tiro uma foto.
This was like a second home for a while. That was fun earlier when you showed up. And I was carrying the cardboard man. You were like, who are these guys? I've been pretty bored here. You know, the valley's going to be flooded soon. That's why nobody can go in there. The dam is falling apart. Couple of days from now. Day 0, we call it. Greyhounds. We're a community organization. We do all kinds of fun stuff. Health clinics, minesweeping, daycare, evacuations, weddings. We're new. It was supposed to be because we're helpful yet neutral. We took a vote and decided to change the name, though. We want something more friendly sounding. I'm excited to find out what it will be. We're trying to get new things going. But it's hard. The past really has a tight grip on people. Doesn't feel like a fair fight. So we're trying to... well... anyway. It's funny. I stood guard here for a week, and I've only seen greyhounds like myself. And valley people on their way out. But now I see you, and you're like a... new element, or something. I've never met anyone doing what you're doing. And we greyhounds gotta support new things. So... I'm not supposed to let anyone in. How can I? Jeez. I think you should go down into the valley and take a look. Gonna try something here. Dang it. I was trying to wink. Well, you get the idea. Go on and put that old gear to use. You can take my map of the valley, too. I don't need it anymore. I'll be down to pick everyone up around midnight. See you then.
Agora temos um mapa que nos guia pelo vale, onde podemos pegar a bicicleta e explorar todo o local. Chegamos no primeiro ponto do vale, onde vemos algumas placas dizendo sobre seus ritos e até dando as boas-vindas a nós. Também podemos encontrar uma placa que diz sobre as flores de memória, onde descobrimos que elas conseguem gravar algumas coisas que foram ditas perto dela, onde podemos gravar o que elas dizem, sendo uma delas em um túmulo.
Out of sleep, I've been gathering harpic, and I've been gathering courage. If my big prayer is wrong, if it goes against divine will, please spare the people of this valley. We're so desperate for peace.
Para manter o ritmo do vídeo, vou apenas narrar o que é principal para a história, pois senão o vídeo seria um compilado de andar, gravar áudio e tirar foto. E se você ficou interessado em jogar esse jogo, eu recomendo que você jogue e depois venha assistir esse vídeo. Mas antes, Por favor, deixa o like e se inscreve no canal. Meu canal ainda tá crescendo e eu peço a ajuda de todos vocês. Não custa nada. Gravando outras folhas de memória, descobrimos algo que se mexia na água, interrompendo a conversa de dois homens, que diziam que as pessoas ali eram fracas, e outro homem dizia que ouviu tiros durante a noite. Guardem isso na memória, por favor. Seguindo nosso caminho, podemos explorar diversos locais. Gosto de como o jogo só te solta no local e deixa você mesmo fazer seu próprio caminho. O lado ruim é que você fica perambulando de um lado para outro sem saber o que fazer. Passando por um acampamento das mãos cinzas, conseguimos ver uma gravação deles, dizendo que querem construir uma época melhor. Pegando a bicicleta e saindo do local, o telefone toca. Atendendo, o silêncio reina.
I've been trying to get a hold of someone for hours. Oh, thank you. I forgot the day zero materials. You know, the visual literature, the warm bath of ideas? I left it at the dig site. It should be sitting on a barrel with a fruit sticker on it.
A escavação vai ficar para mais tarde. Depois de passar por uma fazenda que fazia campeonato de coisas de vaca, podemos tocar uma música que atrai elas para mais perto do rádio. Agora chego em outra fazenda. Enquanto fossava nas coisas dos outros, vejo de canto de olho uma mulher preparando uma mala. E se aproximando dela, conseguimos chamar sua atenção.
Oh, no. You said we had until midnight. I'm not ready to leave. Look at all this. Wait a minute. A cute outfit, a bicycle. You're not a greyhound. Oh, what a relief. I'm sorry. I just assumed because who else would be... What are you doing here? You're really cutting it close. I guess I'm doing research here on the lawn. I'm studying my own life. Welcome to Tiang Valley. You should have been here a week ago when the evacuation started. Almost everyone is gone now. My son and I are still here. There's a few old people left too. You might come across them. Hopefully everyone will leave the valley tonight. We're going to live in the city, in a little apartment. Look. See how they put the dimensions on the back? I recreated our future apartment here, on the lawn. This is the space we have to work with, to live in. I'm trying to really imagine what it'll be like. We're going from a big farm to one room. And we need to be packed by tonight. I already packed for myself and my son, but my husband Yuri is a little harder to pack for because he passed away recently. And I can't bring all his things. It's not realistic. His stuff is still... It's all here. It's okay. You said you're here to study the valley? My Yuri was doing the same thing. We can do this. Just need to decide.
Our old cart broke. I overloaded it. So I had to use the wheels of his bicycle. Now he's so mad he won't say a word. Yuri learned to paint from our neighbor, Matiora. He painted all 3 of these. This is a self-portrait he did. Kind of intense, right? He was more handsome than that. I wish he could have seen himself the way I saw him, you know? He was really lovely, just occasional dark moods from his work. This is his portrait of me. We got into a fight over it. What's that supposed to mean? You just splatter some paint on the canvas and put my name on it? He said it was my essence. I don't know. Do you think it looks like me? He painted this for Kochi. Some kind of private joke between the 2 of them. I don't get it. They were both interested in the war and how it ended. I'm not. I just pray nothing like that will ever happen again. Which painting should I take with me? Yes, you're right. For better or worse, this is how he saw me, deep in his mind. Maybe someday I'll understand it. Maybe someday I will look at this painting and see him seeing me. These are Yuri's books. They're pretty heavy. This is an old religious book, The Prism of Yesterday. He didn't like to talk about his faith. I haven't read it much. Maybe there's a part of him in these pages. A part I never understood, that I could still glimpse. Maybe he would want me to keep this one. But I don't know. It just doesn't mean much to me. Yuri found this old tourist guide to the valley before we moved here. He was so excited. But this guide is really out of date. It's from way before the war. There's something optimistic about the colors they used. Yuri really wanted to take a trip to the archipelago together. We prepared for it a lot, even taught ourselves a bit of the language from this book, but we never made the trip. It was always going to be soon, but it never happened. Seems like the kind of thing no one does anymore. Which should I take with me? We have a special feeling for the season just before us. The one our parents grew up in. It's like it was right there, but we missed it. We know there were horrors, but somehow everyone seems innocent. I suppose I'll be leaving the other 2 behind. I know they're heavy, but would you want to take one with you? Yeah, maybe you'll make it to the Azan Islands someday. All right, this is going well. But I feel like I'm forgetting something. Or someone. The demon of shame and mourning. How could I have forgotten? Now, where did I put him? We need to bring the demon of shame and mourning. When someone dies and you're in mourning, you're supposed to keep the demon in sight at all times. He's supposed to remind you of your regrets. It's a religious thing.
Só queria comentar que o animal vulgo eu que tava jogando pensou que já tinha completado todas as partes desse diálogo. E simplesmente deu as costas e saiu andando, sendo que eu fui completar essa parte da história na reta final do jogo. Agora, vejam como essa conversa deveria ser. Só não reparem que agora o tempo tá de tarde no jogo.
I've packed my essential clothes. I don't know what to do with these. This was Yuri's best suit. Maybe when Kochi grows up, it'll fit him. That's a long time away, though. My island dress. I made this for our trip to the islands, the trip we never took. It was based on a photo of a seaside Azan dance. The hours I spent on this. These are some of Yuri's clothes from when he was a kid. I thought Kochi could wear them, but he says they're itchy. So what's the use? But to throw them away, he was a little boy. He would put these clothes and go to school. He grew up. Oh, God, this hurts a little. Okay. Yes, let's bring it. It reminds me of our dreams together. Things we wanted to do. Let's see how this is going so far. We'll remember Yuri's excitement coming to the valley. The dress I made for a trip never taken. I'll remember the way Yuri saw my essence. I think we're almost there. Let's just look a little more. I went through all our old photos, trying to see what I might be forgetting. I love that view. Have you been up there, by the entrance to the shrine? The entrance is bigger than the shrine itself. Just across the river and up the hill. It's worth visiting. The doors to the shrine open when the sun goes down. The monk is still in there. I hope he'll evacuate. That's Matiora. She lives east of here, out in the woods by the river. She said she'll evacuate, but she's still here. It makes me nervous, but I can't complain. We're still here, too. I wasn't interested in having a child at first. There are just so few these days. The thing all three of us had in common as a family was that we were pretty silly. We used to be. When we were all together. The past is such a heavy dream. And I never remember my dreams. But when I wake up, there's a cloud of feelings the dream left behind. Then the day begins. I move around, and that trace disappears. I wonder if our memories of the valley will drift away like that. Someday Kochi will be as old as his father was when he died. What will he remember? My husband built these tools to study the valley. They were his life's work, and they took his life away, too. So what do I do with them? You can't buy tools like these. He made them. My husband didn't insult God, but maybe he stepped on his toe, and his life went out of him. The truth is, I'm relieved to leave this place. Tiang Valley is not some preserved jar of, I don't know, culture. It's chaos. It's life. It's constantly changing. They might be incredibly valuable to a scientist on the other side of the world. I don't know. I also hate them. I get you're a curious soul, but I forbid you from using them. I don't care, but he did. He gave his life trying to understand this world. I can't keep these tools, and I can't throw them away. There's even more of them, bigger ones, out at his work shed. Okay, I'm gonna turn away now. I want you to take them or throw them away. I don't want to know. All right, this is it. I killed him. The demon of shame and mourning. What was I thinking bringing it along? What an awful tradition. Kochi, do you still want to take a final tour of the valley? Let's get those wheels back where they belong. I know what I'll carry with me. It's something I couldn't leave behind if I tried. It couldn't be crushed like the demon. It's too many layers deep. I'll carry the part of me that's gone, that's missing. But there's so much life left that flowers grow along its edges. Something like that. I'm glad you came to Tiang Valley today. Thank you for being there for me. I didn't realize how much I needed a stranger's ear. Now, there's no rush, but as you try to wrap your mind around this place, feel free to come ask me questions. I'll be right here until night comes.
Agora que Kochi tem sua bicicleta, podemos fazer um pequeno tour com ele. Não antes dele usar seus poderes mentais e me arrastar junto dele. Nesse tour podemos gravar e tirar fotos, mas decidi aproveitar o momento, tirando apenas algumas fotos de tudo. Descobrimos que o pai do garoto curou uma árvore que estava morrendo, e que ele purificou um cristal daqueles que podemos ver em alguns locais do mapa, se tornando um cristal verde. Depois podemos tirar uma foto de Kochi. Seguindo mais uma vez o garoto, chegamos em um local repleto de homens deitados, sofrendo da doença do sono. Nosso tour passa por mais alguns locais que terminam na frente de um túmulo, sendo o túmulo do pai do Kochi. Agora eu quero falar algo do jogo. Existem alguns bancos espalhados pelo mapa, onde podemos nos sentar e desenhar a paisagem, mas em um deles, em uma cachoeira linda, Podemos ouvir um áudio que diz sobre o sonho profético que nosso amigo teve, que foi citado lá no começo do jogo. Ele disse que sabia que seu cérebro estava fazendo algo especial e pensava que seria uma nova cor, mas acabou fazendo o nosso personagem ir embora. O sonho o assustou, mas o fez agradecer por estar vivo. E a Sian diz que o sonho significa o final dessa época. E ele diz que quer compartilhar o sonho agora, e pede para fecharmos os olhos.
I am in the forest. The sun is bright. My stomach rumbles. I'm hungry. I look for something to eat. There are fruit trees lining the path. I look for one to pick, to eat. I climb up one of the trees and reach out to grab a shining red apple. I blink, and suddenly the apple is rotten. It looks like it's full of spiders. I blink again, and now the apple is just a baby apple. Not ripe or rotten. I lose my balance and fall onto the ground. The apple changes colors. Some are eaten, some disappear. I hear a voice. Someone is there with me. I try to recognize who they are, but their face keeps changing. They're kind of everywhere. I tell them I'm hungry. I want what the earth is trying to give me. They say these aren't apples. They're memories of every apple I've ever seen. There's something wrong with my eyes, and there's something wrong with the soil. They say I need to look into the sun to clear out my vision. They say we're going to look together, and that when we do, they'll melt away. They want to. Then behind them I see you, watching from the shadows. You've been taking notes on everything. This makes me feel better. I turn my head and I let the light in. I lose track of everything. When I get my senses back, I find myself holding a round, red fruit in my hand. I don't know what it is, but I take a bite, and it's the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. Then I woke up.
Após beber uma cachoeira, vou até a escavação, onde podemos encontrar o que o homem do telefone havia dito, tendo um rolo de filme. Além de tirar foto de alguns familiares meus, também encontramos um toca-fita com um cristal que era retirado da escavação, ao lado de uma vasilha de água. E dando play na fita, isso acontece.
I remember watching my dad make shadow puppets on the wall. Felt strange because I could see how it was done. I could see the trick of it, but it still felt kind of magical.
E falando em memórias, existe um local repleto de flores de memória, onde normalmente deveria ser evitado, mas como temos nosso pingente, podemos passar por esse mar de rosa sem problemas. Nesse estranho mar de rosa, é possível ver a cabeça de uma estátua de algum deus. Voltando até o projetor dos mãos cinzentas, conseguimos colocar o rolo de filme e tocar a próxima mensagem.
We begin in our mother's arms. We open our eyes, but she's not there. We breathe in. Where is she? She is everywhere. And we breathe out. Good morning. Welcome. Congratulations. You have just stepped into a new season. You may feel as if you're seeing the world for the first time. You may have noticed that colors are more vibrant. You may have noticed that food tastes better. What you are feeling right now is how it feels to be liberated from the past. There once was a season that was beautiful, but everyone you met, their eyes were clouded, and their necks were turned backwards. They were weighed down by loss, haunted by the nightmares of another era. Now you may feel as if a great weight has been lifted. In certain cases, you may feel an unexpendable well of energy rising up inside you, because you know there is so much to do, that the world is ours, and it can be anything we want. With your help, we're going to do it right this time. You won't be alone. There will always be a hand and a voice beside you. There will always be a song to sing.
Tear down the ruin in your mind, the wound you kept inside, can you let it go? Share now the season in your eyes, the people that you find will forget what's yours and mine in the world to come. Tear down the ruin in your mind, the wound you kept inside, can you let it go? Share now the season in your eyes, the people that you find will forget what's yours and mine in the world to come.
Agora podemos ir ao longe do vale, sendo a casa de Mantiora, a mulher que vimos numa foto anteriormente. Chegando em sua casa, Mantiora parece não estar lá, mas interagindo com o objeto, ela aparece. Descobrimos que ela não tem apreço pela própria arte, tratando a mesma como lixo. E tirando foto de suas artes para mostrar para ela mesma segue o pensamento, menosprezando a própria arte. Agora podemos ajudá-la a encontrar qual seria a sua próxima peça de arte. E eu escolho o símbolo do sono, que ela diz que acabou com a guerra, sendo os homens que vimos deitados anteriormente, com a doença do sono. E com isso o chá feito pela mulher está pronto. Podemos tomar junto dela e aproveitar o momento. E ela diz que o chá é bom para a garganta, e que sempre quando toma dá vontade de cantar. E podemos gravar isso.
Chubaleni husanota, chubaleni husabe, chubaleni husanota, krimosanahi. Pleminutu sakanora, pleminu no sapetu, pleminu no kaserota, manano mase. TUDO ui anota, TUDO uni ano, TUDO uni anota, enimunahi. That was it. That was Ching Valley. I thought we would capture Ching Valley in a piece of art. But we captured it in a moment instead. A moment can never hang on the wall of a museum. But you will still carry it with you. You were the co-author of this moment. I would never have found it without you.
Agora, quero pausar um pouco para comentar. O vídeo pode estar um pouco confuso até aqui. No mundo de Seasons, as épocas afetam as pessoas. Se no final delas algum evento acontece, como por exemplo, os soldados que foram afetados pela doença do sono ao final de sua época. E lembra daqueles homens que narrei, falando que algo que se movia na água? Era aquele símbolo que vimos na bacia de água, indicando a passagem da época. E dando um pequeno spoiler, nessa época que estamos jogando, o efeito dela será um estranho esquecimento. Agora voltando para o vídeo, ao entardecer, podemos ir até o templo e falar com a última pessoa que está no vale, sendo o monge que foi falado durante o jogo, o qual está deitado em cima de sua van. Ligando a TV, o tiramos do seu sono, e o mesmo pergunta o que estamos fazendo. E dissemos que estamos registrando essa época antes que ela acabe, e ele pede para que não seja nosso primeiro dia de trabalho. Não resta muita época para registrar. E ele pergunta o que temos pendurado no pescoço, sendo nosso pingente que nos protege. E ele pergunta quem fez o pingente, e respondemos que foi nossa mãe. E ele pergunta quem perdeu as memórias, e dizemos que foi ela. E perguntando o que usamos para o ritual, digo que foi um desenho de nosso pai. E o monge fica impressionado dizendo que é semelhante ao que eles fazem, mas diferente. E ele diz que estamos protegidos, mas enquanto o resto das pessoas normais? Ele diz que irá ficar ali e ser levado pelas águas. Ele também diz que os primeiros dias de uma nova época são muito esperançosos, e voltar a ter esperança seria sua morte, e diz preferir morrer afogado. E novamente bate na tecla que estamos protegidos, mas as outras pessoas não. Todas elas que passaram pelo nosso caminho estão desprotegidas. E perguntando protegido de quê? Ele diz que nem todo mundo chega intacto numa nova época, e diz para dizermos isso aos garotos deitados no estacionamento, e diz que sabemos que tudo está prestes a mudar. Mas dando a ideia de um pingente coletivo, o monge diz que estamos livres para tentar, e diz que suas lembranças estão por todo esse local, e ele pede para deixarmos morrer em paz. Para o paladar, escolha uma fruta com gosto exótico. Para o tato, escolha a pelúcia que tínhamos no nosso quarto. Para a audição, toca uma vitrola com uma bela música. Para o olfato, acenda um incenso de oração. E por último, para a visão, liga o pisca-pisca.
I tell you already, hope is the most painful thing in the world. That's 5. 5 memories, 5 senses. My name is Easel. I was the last monk of Tiang Valley. I never finished my exams to be a monk, but I'm the only one left. I took becoming a monk for granted because I grew up around them. If you're including a ruin like me, you must be serious about recording this season. What will you write about me? That's true, but I was once a scared little boy. I was orphaned by the war. The monks found me on the coast, wandering alone, shell-shocked. Sonia, the head monk, took care of me. I saw things I shouldn't have. She helped me erase those memories. If I had any memories of my family, I lost them too. But at least I didn't wake up screaming anymore. I was so afraid of accidentally calling her Mom. She was the head monk. Even before she ended the war, Sonia was an imposing figure. I slept, I forgot, and I grew. The soldiers came to the valley. Sonia hated the war for taking my family like it took so many others. The most powerful prayers are always made out of desperation. She figured out how to amplify our sleep prayer. A prayer that could end a season. No one had ever done anything like that. She sent me to the coast to turn on the light posts, to signal that the season would end soon. I used to go to the light posts alone, just to dream about another season. To dream about being born in another season, to die in another season. To imagine a life where I wasn't afraid to have hope. I'd like you to have one of these photos, to carry it with you to wherever you're going. These lights out on the coast. It's a solemn task to turn them on. And it's not too late. They've shut off the power. Won't be long now. Imagine the waves rolling in here. The water is so deep that light won't reach us. I should pray one last time. We should both pray. Right now.
Agora o monge pode fazer sua última oração nesse local. E ele pergunta se queremos fragilizar nosso pingente na tentativa de ajudar todos que vimos. E relutante eu decido pensar melhor nisso. Mas ao final, escolho não entregar o pingente, pois ele faz parte de nossa missão.
I feel the choice, don't speak it aloud, no need. It puts my mind at ease knowing you will be safe. You'll witness much more across seasons. We will leave it to the gods. We sink these words into the fragile earth to accompany lost souls. Listen to the record of our lives spinning and the old woman tapping her foot to the music. Taste the fruit we stole from the orchard and pretend to love the taste until you truly do. Heal the fabric of a lost doll. Smell the incense of an old evening sun. The caretaker prayer, the scent of the woods and the wedding tree. Turn your eyes to the colored lights. The faces in the crowd are the faces of your children. We offer this prayer on behalf of our companions. Let them find themselves with senses warm and ready for the life of the season to come. You have the sounds of the moment. The moment is already past. We've done all we can. I need to take you out of this place. It can't end here. Let's go.
The true end of the Tiang Valley was not the flood coming. It was when these people would go their separate ways. At the last possible moment, I saw them as a community. No matter what happens, I will carry the memory of these people into the next season. The gray hand arrived. He had what he called passports for everyone. He said they were supposed to have a photo, but that his camera was broken and he wanted to use mine. I saw in these little papers the beginning of a new world. He asked me if I could help him. I had only one moment to decide. I said, yes. The gray hand thanked me. He gave me a pin and told me their new name would be Floral Path. The monk said he felt like driving all night.
Listen closely. The road behind you leads to the coast. There's an old warning system on the beach. An emergency light that can be seen from the other side of the ocean. You can warn the rest of the world about the change of season. All you have to do is turn it on. It was built to survive anything. I'm sure it still works. Do you understand? Of course.
Easel lives.
I've been thinking about that all night. I have this idea to turn my van into a shrine. For every sermon I preach, I'll listen to 10. And you will remember everything. You will survive everything. Rest transparent in the spirit that gives you rise. Farewell.
Agora estamos na reta final de nossa jornada, podendo uma última vez pegar nossa bicicleta. Admito que a esse ponto eu estava tão imerso nessa jornada que até esqueci de tirar fotos na reta final. Depois de desenhar nossa última paisagem, chegamos em uns holofotes de luz e achamos um homem de pele roxa que fala nossa língua de maneira engraçada. É nesse momento que o jogo faz uma espécie de retrospectiva do que fizemos, compartilhando fotos e desenhos com o homem de pele roxa. Por fim, ao anoitecer, podemos ligar os holofotes que são vistos até mesmo pelo outro lado do mar. Season trata da fragilidade das memórias, de como tudo uma hora passa, seja uma voz, uma estátua, um local qual gostamos muito, uma hora tudo passa com o tempo, e o que sobra? Memórias, tempos felizes, ou nem tão felizes assim. A nostalgia é um sentimento engraçado. Agora com os símbolos das águas assim como os vimos antes, nosso pingente nos protege do esquecimento. Todos que passamos e vimos possivelmente se esqueceram, mas nós não. Seasons conta em foto a história antiga que foi passada para o futuro. O tempo é algo cruel em algumas partes, seja memórias que você já não se lembra mais, ou sentimentos fortes que já se esvaiu com o tempo. Seasons conta sobre o passado, o futuro e os registros que podemos fazer no presente. Seasons me ensinou a aproveitar o momento, pois uma hora ele vai passar. Me ensinou a abraçar o presente e não temer o futuro, pois tudo que já foi dito se encontra no passado, e tudo que é pensado é do futuro. Por exemplo, o início desse vídeo se encontrava no passado, e seu final no futuro, mas agora que você viu, ele se encontra no passado, junto com tudo que vimos.
Show you what was lost. This is part of the history of our world, and I hope knowing it helps you answer the questions I have asked myself in these pages. What is your season? Where did it come from? And where's it going? I'll continue taking measure of the world, even if I never make it to a palace of art and memory. No matter where you're reading this, I offer you my journal and the lives inside it. If anything in here escapes from the page into the world, let it be one sentence. Just a few words you heard from a traveler on a bicycle. When at the end of the evening, she turned to you and said, "It is not too late."
How to leave home. For my daughter. Find a sacred square of earth. Lay down so you have the dirt at your back. Close your eyes. Close everything. Do you see for yourself? You see for the dead, for the unborn. Do you listen for yourself? You listen for the dead, for the unborn. Your ancestors are in that dirt. All the living and all the dead are holding you up. Now, stand. They're still there, aren't they? It's time to move, to entangle yourself everywhere with everyone. So the next time you lay down in the dirt, you will have so much more to tell them.
Obrigado por assistir.